You got it?
I think so.
Mr. Newton?
Here.
Mr. Bob's not here yet. Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Fill out that. Shouldn't be.
Mr. Parati? Mr. Parati?
Sam, will you?
Mr. Facto?
Here.
Mr. Randall?
Here. Okay, the purpose of the meeting right now is to hear comments for or against local law number 3 for the year 2022. To adopt a minimum income exemption level for the guaranteeing of a partial exemption real property tax for certain persons 65 years of age or older. So we'll give a sufficient time for everybody to weigh in, if you want to weigh in on that. Yes,
Maximum income,
maximum income,
not minimum. Did
Oh.
I misheard?
yes.
Mm.
That was a typo. We had that conversation today, eh, Bob? Thank you. So that's corrected, a maximum income before they're eligible for the exemption.
So if you guys had that conversation earlier, why didn't you let me know so I could change it?
Well, no, she was talking about the maximum amount that would be allowable. She was talking that if it was, 24,900, then you wouldn't be able to get it. It wasn't over your paperwork. I had to let you know ahead of time. I'm not like that.
Well, I wanna go look and see what the local law says, cause that's what I copied it from.
Okay, so maybe it's a misinterpretation on both of our parts.
Well, if it's minimum, that'd be great.
Probably would.
Everybody in the talks.
Right.
Well, the way it's written though, to adopt a minimum income exemption,
Oh, I don't know.
it might be very well that. And now you got proof that it was roughly. Thanks.
Are we
You
supposed to
didn't
have,
show me, I didn't get to see any official papers. I was
are we supposed to have
a
a
resident of the town coming in to.
Are we supposed to have the amount there? Are we adopting a new amount tonight?
Yes, we are adopting a new amount.
Okay, so that'd be in the resolution.
It will be in the resolution, what I can do,
Discussed it. We didn't bring it up.
well, trying to get this paperwork way out of whack here. I think it was 24,000, but don't quote me. $26. It was 24, down to 26.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did it, we raised it to 24 last year. And this does say in the resolution, persons with an annual income of up to a maximum of 26,000. You guess I could kill two birds with one stone, or maybe a little bit, and let's see. Get to my inner pile here.
Something is, where's your staff? You doing that?
For what?
Right here. No, that's
That was
not
number
somebody did.
4.
Resolution 2286.
4.
Yeah, now go down to the next one.
The next.
Alright.
It's minimum, for
Yeah.
some reason, that's the one we did last year. Minimum income exemption level.
But the resolution does say maximum income of 26,000, so we're good either way.
Alright, so we're gonna leave it as is, yeah.
Yeah, toss my thing out and put it back in. I did have this for supervisor's time, but this is applicable at this time. So I'm gonna hand these out. Give that to Mike. Alright, so I just got the, I didn't, Gary did. Our assessor just got the New York State Office of Real Property Tax Services assessment for the town of Schuyler Falls, the update. So the current, you'll see the prior and the current roll. And if you look at the prior, it was 273,907,880. It's now at 274,248,380. And then if you look at taxable real property in the ordinary public utility and taxable state land local, rural sections, that also increased. It's inclusive of it. So we were a little nervous when they changed, just made that law exempting some of the property taxes for like the big commercial businesses like Verizon and NYSEG and all those, that they were subject to property tax within your township. But we've actually gone up. So basically, tying that into our earlier discussion, sheet, because I'm doing this out of order to save a little bit of time, hopefully later on. To scratch off number 4. We have received the updated real property report from the New York State Office of Real Property Tax Service. Our current rolls of taxable income in the town have continued to rise, thus not raising the need for the assessments to raise them to 100% in our town thus far. And that's over the last 3 years we haven't done a reassessment. So again, it has not negatively impacted the town's budget by allowing it to stay where it is now rather than going to 100% assessment. So that also was a question of how many people this would affect, changing this age to 65, and although it will help some, it's not going to drastically change our income from real property taxes. Talking to Gary without nailing him down on a specific number, somewhere between 15 and 25 people more maybe would get this exemption, and they get the exemption by their age, and that we also have some that get the exemption through disability. Disability. So I'll take that away from my agenda later on. Any questions on that one? Does anybody have anything that they want to say? I guess we gave it about 5-10 minutes. I didn't want to. It's really your turn to speak, not mine, but help us get through that section pretty quickly. If there are no comments, I would ask that we close.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
By
Second.
Mr. Newton. Seconded by Mr. Bruno.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at what? 6 o'clock.
That says 5:58.
What's the official time, Miss Clerk?
I put 6 o'clock,
Well, close enough.
5:57 by my watch. Should we put that?
No matter, you're the boss when it comes to times. 5:57.
5:57.
Any comments? None, other than mine. Okay. Too many folders. Okay, I think we'll dispense with the pledge of allegiance since we already did that. If nobody has any objections. Roll call again for this meeting.
Mr. Newton.
Here.
Mr. Parati.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Facto.
Here.
Mr. Randall.
Here. Alright, all board members have been provided with a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. A motion will be, I should say meetings, a motion will be entertained to approve and accept the minutes of the regular meeting for, that's September 27th of 2022. Can I get a motion?
Can I just add something about that?
Sure, go
Everybody got a new, set of minutes because my head was not screwed on right and there was a couple little mistakes. So everybody today got a new copy of the minutes.
Anybody receive that? Vote on it?
Motion.
Okay, so motion by Mr. Facto, second by Mr. Bruno. All in favor?
Aye. You had the roll call?
Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Mr. Parati.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yep.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take your job. We'll do the same thing. All board members have been provided with a copy of the September 27th public hearing. Can I get a motion to approve these unless there are any additions or corrections in that one?
Motion.
Mr. Newman,
Second.
Mr. Facto. Roll call.
Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Mr. Parati. Mr.
Yes.
Bruno.
Yep.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. Alright, address these non-communications petitions, a couple here. What's this? Somewhat long letter, but not too bad. Move on to the next one. Alright, dear board members, I wanted to share with you a leadership change that will take effect on November 1st, 2022. Nicholas Payne will be the new operations supervisor overseeing CVPH's 911 ambulance service. Nick has been an employee with EMT of CVPH for the past 23 years and is currently completing his coursework in the New York State Paramedic Program. He is a New York State fire instructor and serves as a Darramore Fire Chief. Nick can be reached at, I don't give his number, but with this change, I am announcing my departure from EMT of CVPH. I have accepted a promotion within the Support Services Division. I will oversee life safety, environmental care, clinical engineering, emergency management, and security. I can assure you that these transitions will be seamless and we will still provide the same great service to your organization and community. On a personal note, it has been a pleasure working with your organization and I appreciate the friendships we have built. I have the utmost respect for what you all do for your community. Additionally, if your organization has any questions, comments, please contact me. And this is sincerely Michael Calhoun, excuse me. Mike Calhoun. And he has served in that position for a long time. He did a good job, so. Nick's got some big shoes to fill. I know Nick will too. Perma. This one's a little bit lengthy. I don't know if I'll read this whole thing, but I'll give you the gist of it. It says, Dear Kevin, as you know, the New York State Legislature passed hundreds of bills each year, many of which impact local governments. This year, there were several workers' compensation bills that could negatively impact local governments if signed by the governor. Note, there is one bill that will soon be awaiting the governor's decision, which would establish definitions for temporary total disability. If adopted, it will negatively impact local government budgets, cause conflicts with collective bargaining agreements, and create obstacles and disincentives for injured workers to return back to work. Therefore, on behalf of Perma Board of Directors, we are soliciting your assistance in contacting the Governor's Council to recommend a veto on this problematic bill. And it gives a number of it. So, I don't know what your pleasure is as a board. You want me to do some research on it and let me know individually so I don't put you on the spot.
Can we get a copy of that?
I will get you guys a copy of this and yeah, we got time. But I do want it fairly soon. they are recommending that we, try to get her to veto that. I have another one here, this one's from Charter Communications, a couple of them, changes. At Charter, we're required to keep the price as low as possible, we value our customers and are committed to providing them with the latest products and technology. Despite our best efforts, due to rising program fees charged by broadcast TV stations, we carry the broadcast TV surcharge price for Spectrum TV and Spectrum TV Choice customers will increase by $4.01 per month, effective November 1st of 2022. Note for the customers who are paying a promotional price for their Spectrum TV, the regular plan does not take effect until the end of their promotional period. We remain committed to providing excellent communications and entertainment services to your community. Basically, I don't read all the channel changes, but that one was an increase to the cost over the board, so I figured that one was noteworthy to read tonight. Alright, that was that for communications. Addresses, to my knowledge, we have none. Communication petitions, alright, monthly reports,
Make the motion, we accept the monthly reports.
by Mr. Newton,
Second.
Mr. Bruno, roll call.
Mr. Newton,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
No.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Facto,
Was there a discussion on this?
Yeah.
It's a monthly report, we don't usually do a discussion on them, but if you wanna expand, I have no problem with that.
Well, do you find them substandard?
I just didn't get a chance to look at them, so I'm not gonna submit to, you got a quorum here to pass them, but I didn't get to
Understand.
look at them, so that's why.
Okay.
Those are in this box, correct?
no, they,
Right there.
But,
I collect them all month long.
Yes.
Mr. Randall,
yes. Is there a way that we can rectify that for the future for you?
No, it's my fault. I just didn't get it done, I didn't have time, I didn't get it done, didn't get to read it.
No, okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't not getting them to you in time,
No.
so. Okay, alright, fair enough. That happens. Alright, receipts. Town clerk, $892. Macy Lane Water, $1,961.74. Morrisonville Water, $11,648.50. Woods Mills Water, $5,046.21. Justice Barber, $1,047. Justice Van Artwick, $1,862. Cash receipts. We received our third quarter from Casella, $136,963.74. So can I get a motion to file?
Yes.
Mr. Facto
Second.
and Mr. Newton. Roll call.
Mr. Newton,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. Alright, minutes of the planning board, we had none. No minutes of the zoning board, we had none. Department reports. Councilman.
Question.
Yeah.
We got in our packet the 2023 annual meeting and training school. Are we supposed to fill this out, or?
I made those up and gave them to you because it's getting to the point where you need to let Mary know whether you're interested in going. I just don't wanna have you miss out if you're gonna naturally need somewhere to stay if you go down to New York City, so I finally got the brochure right from the Association of Towns, and that's what they gave me, so I made you copies of everything. That way you know what's going on and whether you wanna attend. And yes, it's, pretty soon, we're gonna need to know that.
Good, thank you.
Just so we can book what we need to book if we got
just a couple of things, and we've discussed it so many times about this website and
Yep.
this problem with this website, and it's continuing on, and it's getting really old real quick. Certain people are really upset over it, our residents, and I don't understand why it's taking so long to get the appropriate upgrading in that. So, like the town clerk can be doing what she's always done with putting minutes up.
Well, she
And-
never put them up, she forwarded them to our old one and put them up, but
Well,
I do have-
they were put up,
I do
that's my
have,
point.
yeah, I do have under my time, a couple proposals that I just got. We're all frustrated with it, and not just the residents, so.
Sure.
I made copies for everybody tonight to look at. I want them
Okay.
to go on the websites, check out those. I wanna make sure we do our homework, that we look at what we're gonna maybe go to. And then what we'll do is, at that point in time, make a decision on who and if we're gonna switch, who that switch will be to. But I'll explain that a little bit better.
Okay.
later on.
And
Can I
one-
just go one thing about that? My minutes, in July, he came and downloaded all my minutes and was supposed to put them up on the thing.
Yes.
I didn't send it to him, and they're not up there. He asked for August and September, when was it, last week? They're not up there.
No, it was
Nothing,
more
there's no
than-
data
more than
found
last.
on anybody's
I mean,
contact
like,
departments.
connect, phone numbers of public officials are done on it.
Well, they're on it, but they're this way
But-
and not that way. and-
Really? I,
Yeah.
3 out of
Yeah.
10.
email addresses aren't on it. I mean, I won't get into,
yeah.
we all know what
No,
the
there's
issue is.
multiple issues
But,
that,
and the only other issue, I attended the training up in Lake Placid, and it was mentioned, Kevin, I think I mentioned it to you, with the planning board and zoning board. A lot of times, they don't have the members. We appreciate the volunteers so much. And a lot of times, if they don't have a quorum, they will use the secretary to fill in, to act as a member. And from what I can gather at that session, is that the town, in order to do that, would need a local law permitting that. It's a change that was made. So,
but unless I'm misunderstood, and I'll check with Mr. Manane,
Sure.
who is a lawyer for the zoning and planning board. She is a member and, or is a board member and was then
Yeah.
asked to be also secretary, so I
okay,
think
but
she,
anyway,
I think she holds legally, my
Yeah.
understanding is she
Yeah.
holds legally both titles.
yeah, based on that, it's something new, Kevin.
Okay.
That's changed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Is that anything else you got on that?
No.
That was it? We were
That's all.
doing pretty good?
Yep.
Alright. Secretary. And like I said, I'll check with Mr. Manane just to make sure if she holds that title at all. And she's filling in as a regular board member also, if it does require us to do a
Sure,
local law.
of course.
It makes sense to check into that, so thanks for bringing that back.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yes.
Anybody else? Holy smokes, that was quick. Alright, highway,
Hey,
how you doing, Mike?
no, we're.
We got the roads
we're
paved.
We're getting by, yeah. We got the roads paved, we're working on the salt and sand pile. It's coming. We're just getting everything ready the best we can, and as quick as we can, for the winter with the trucks and equipment. I'm still looking for a couple of good men or a couple of good women.
Did
to
you
come
have,
and,
did you have anybody approach you in the last 2 weeks?
no,
I had one approach me when we were paving that day,
yeah.
I mentioned to you. I'll put him out there until he makes a decision.
I've
I
called
know
a couple other
he's
places.
got some
You know, a
experience.
couple other guys, I hear from here and there, but everybody knows somebody, you
Yeah.
know, and, I said, man, Give me their number, have them come see me, call me.
And Howard and I actually spoke to somebody too over last weekend that could be interested, so I'll throw his name out there and take it run over until we know for sure he's gonna apply for it.
Yeah,
But,
that's it, you know, you don't.
But
you
yeah,
know.
we're actively looking for you also,
Sure.
and as well as anybody out there, you know,
Yeah.
is looking for a couple highway guys.
Oh, yeah.
If you look
Still
at the
waiting.
town meeting minutes for Peru from last meeting, they're going through the exact same thing. They're
Yeah.
talking about how they don't know how they're gonna put
Right,
roads
and-
there.
Yeah,
Mike
they
can
ju- they just
correct me
lost
if
two-
I'm wrong, but I think they have even a bigger department than we do, right?
Yeah,
Like 8.
yeah, they just lost 2 men.
They lost their head one, didn't
Huh?
they? Didn't Lloyd just leave, the head man?
I wasn't,
He did.
So it's hard right now to hire anywhere.
Didn't we talk about going to a couple of those hiring agencies?
We can't for that one though. We can for the other jobs, and we did talk about going to them. Being that it's a union hire or a union contract, I don't think we're allowed to outsource it. That's something I could talk to Ricky Smith about
yeah.
to see if we can get some viable candidates. And like I said, I know Dave had mentioned last time too with
Yeah, they've
the
been,
with the
he's
town
been
home
looking.
closing, that there might be a good chance of getting some of the employees over there reallocated over to the towns to keep in the retirement system and everything.
So what is the starting pay, Mike, with this new
well,
contract?
it's 20 anyway. $20 an hour.
It's gonna be 23
20
in January,
23.
but they start at $1 less an hour.
Oh, yeah.
We
an hour less.
have
Mhm.
in the past waived that with a labor management agreement
Oh,
with
okay.
Shop Stewart and Northeastern Regional Mickey Smith Teamsters.
Yeah.
And that was done as a labor management agreement, so it didn't open up all the articles of the contract again.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was glad I did that, cause I gotta,
we,
just after that, he goes, oh, no, I apologize, but, yeah.
The biggest thing is this, you know, the CDL, the licenses,
Yep.
man, it's incredible.
Yeah, I haven't heard back from the other gentleman, the one that you sent.
No, we,
I spoke to him the other day, still don't have any CDL.
We all just attended,
I almost think it's water over the day.
Yeah, well, from what I heard talking to the other person we talked to this weekend, they no longer can just go down there, they have to wait until, BOCES or Saratoga or Syracuse or one of those areas offer a class. They actually have to go through that class and then go to get their license. It's mandated now.
We
So there's a
just-
lot more to it than what it used to be. It used to be just a written test, and if you could pass the drag test after you're good, but now they make you go, kinda like the motorcycle thing, you know? It's tough.
we all attended a real good meeting in safety, training all day today. Learned quite a bit more about that CDL. You know, people just, the guys, they're just not passing them either. It's so more.
And you did get the message from David, because yours went to voicemail. I understand now that you
Yeah.
were at a meeting, that's
Yeah, I
why.
had a
went to
couple of
voice-
calls in there and I had to shut it
Yeah,
off.
so that was over that intersection that.
That should be
so-
taken care of now. I mean,
Alright,
you guys got on it.
I have his number, and I'll give it to you tomorrow, cause I was gonna get you a call back, but you must have got busy too. So, if you wanna, or just relay when you think they're gonna be able to take care of that, and then I can let him know.
Well, they should be taken care of. They got onto it after the meeting,
Okay.
you know, as far as the potholes.
Okay. Alright. Anything else, Mike?
No,
Okay.
no, it's just,
You got anything for water?
Just that everything will be re-levied on the taxes November 15th. With unpaid bills, I should say.
Yep, that's in your mind. Alright, safety and codes, we got his report, town clerk, you got anything there? Assessor, I just read you what Gary gave me on the real property. Planning board, I have nothing from them, dog control. Let's see a report on his, that's attorney.
no.
Okay, brings me to me. I'll let our historian speak before me, because I usually take more time than anybody. Barb, you got anything?
Are you gonna mention about holiday event?
No, I figured you had it pretty well spelled out in what we did before previously for the 2000, or the 150th, so I'll
Well,
let you,
I meant the Christmas, December holiday event, which would be December 4th, Sunday, like we did last year down in the park.
Yeah.
And we're working on the details, but we've got the wagon ride set for that. So if anybody wants to help on that, do some things for the kids and.
You give David elf suit this year to help me with
If you should
lights.
throw an elf costume ideas out at people, Kevin.
Well, somebody, if you wanna be Santa, you could be Santa, one of us has gotta be an elf.
That's not gonna be me.
I'll be an elf.
I'll be the Santa if somebody can find a suit.
I think,
Suit, but I think it's probably too short.
yeah, I got a handle on that too.
You do?
Well, we have at least fixed the date because this is the, you know, in terms of trying to not conflict with Peru or Dannemora or Cadyville or any of those, or the city, which are around. So that's the December one. Now the next thing that's coming in less than a year now is the 175th anniversary of the town. Officially, the town started on April 4th in 1848. We're not going to have something there. The last time in the 150th, in 1998, they had it in August, associated with the garage sale, which is usually the week before Plattsburgh State starts, and then the previous weekend, which does on Sunday have the Redford picnic, I think this second weekend, but have an event on Saturday, and then have various things continuing through that weekend. And my goal would be to have different things through the year too. So that makes it be the week of August 12th through August 20th. That's a Saturday through a Sunday. But looking for ideas, I made a list in my report, which everybody probably has to read, right? So that of things that were done in the 150th doesn't mean that we need to do them again, but just some ideas. And if anybody has ideas of what we should include as a part of our celebration, then let me know.
Can we get a copy of that report printed out so we can have it for
It's up
reference?
to she's got pretty much everything on the back of the historians, her historians report.
But you don't,
Right.
you guys don't get it?
Well, we get it up here, but what I'm asking for
Yep.
is a copy of it
Yep.
so we can work off of it.
Yep,
Oh.
yeah, because there was, there was all kinds of things in there, I mean,
Yeah.
the wood splitting thing was kinda
Well,
cool,
yeah,
and,
they started with the garden
and,
tour parade and opening day ceremonies with, here in the parking lot with invited guests, political people, senators, representatives presenting a flag, the oldest person in town. The kids had done something in terms of making pictures on the envelopes that were used to send out things. There were open houses of a variety of different groups, such as the fire department, the community church. They made kind of a museum here at the town hall. Then they had demonstrations of well drilling, zebra mussels, saws, splitting wood, blacksmith, cider press, hand sewing, woodworking tools, cow milking, plowing, butter churning, quilting, open hearth cooking. The police had an exhibit. There was music. They had a judging of vegetables, pies, jams, and jellies. And old-time fiddlers, square dancing in the evening one night. Then the next day, they called it a flea market. It's kind of migrated into our current garage sale day. Bake sale, pony rides, bee supply was a display, farm animals, and apple sale and farmers market. So that kind of covered that week, if you will.
fireworks,
Okay, that's, put that on, they didn't have
we
fireworks.
could do it.
And that's 25 years ago, so there's a lot of things that changed in 25
Maybe get some
years.
sponsors.
Yes,
Yeah.
if we can,
What they did is they
never
had
discouraged.
they had a booklet that they had sponsored, but part of that is getting to know who the commercial groups are in town, which is a great thing so that we have that for history too.
Yeah.
So, okay, and if anybody's interested, we'll be meeting, first time we'll meet will be sometime in November. It's my target, so if anybody's interested in sitting on that committee or heading up a part of it,
Maybe check with his son too, and see if they can do extra ahead of time.
they can,
You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
The preliminary, I'm sure they'll do one after we have it, but, the preliminary saying, hey, we looking for numbers, looking for town donations.
Yeah,
Barb, I may have missed it, but the ambulance was involved in that too.
yeah, well, was it back in those days?
Yeah.
It wasn't in the program. I know, that hit me too, that was missing, but, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, that brings me to me. I have received some highly recommended references from our computer security firm in regards to hire of our new website manager. I ask you to please take a look at these two potential firms and then get back to me with your recommendations or any other firm you feel capable of handling. So basically, it will give you a copy of the email that I got from Lisa, and I will also give you that firm.
Did we get rid of the other guy?
Hmm?
Should we get rid of the other guy?
No, I wouldn't dare get rid of anybody until we make a decision to go with somebody. And we still haven't did that, but it doesn't hurt to look to see what is out there. These are two that were recommended. Get one down.
She don't want one.
Do like that.
Just want it fixed.
Same thing. And here is the other one. Oh, I need to do that after that. So take a look at these two, see if you like their work. If you go, I got these by going on that email that I gave you. It's got at the bottom the 1 and 2, the bottom of that first page. There and right there. If you click on those websites, you'll bring up their work, and you'll be able to see what it is they have done for other towns and other companies that they work for. One of them works for, I won't say the local town right now, but one of them does work for a town really close to us. I plan on calling that town also to see if they're satisfied. I'll bring that back to a work session. Okay? And I'll give you guys some time to look them over also.
What will happen with the funding that we've already paid
If,
current contract?
okay, so if we decide to move forward with another one, and it is before the end of this contract, this year's contract, then I'll discuss that with the attorney to see what we're responsible for. There will be some discussion, I think everybody's put it on the record there, on whether they were able to perform the work that they were hired to do, and whether they were keeping up with what we were asking to do, and if that's enough reason to break the contract or to not have to pay the rest of the contract. But that's a discussion that I'd have to have with the attorney. Alright? And, I'll get the information naturally to him, so I'll get it back to you guys. This one's a Mikey one. Mr. Snyder has given us 2 quotes for a new replacement front end loader at the highway department. He has stated on the record this is a vital upgrade and was needed to keep up with the technology of the present equipment attachment. I ask you to take a look at the received quotes and then again make a decision on what way you would like to move forward. One of these is through Sourcewell. Sourcewell is accepted as a state contract. Okay. The other one, I won't give the manufacturers or what they're doing right now because we haven't decided if we're going with these two or another one. But the other estimate we got was under the source well bid. So, yeah, one was under the source well program, but the other bid was lower than the source well. So if we find something that is under, to the best of my knowledge, that is less than the state contracted, I think we're allowed to also go with that one without going out to bid. I'll verify that, but if my memory is correct, as long as under that, I think we can look at that, so. I know you guys all got copies of seen these in your boxes, so. The only thing I have for you, Mike, is the one for the trailer. Because you had two bids, or two quotes here, but they're for different sizes. One's a 7x14 and the other one's a 7x12. So that one is not under state contract that I can find anywhere, unless you know something that I don't know. So you're gonna have to get at least 2 more bids from other places so that we have 3 bids to work off of for a trailer. If that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does.
And you guys all did get these, right? I see them in your boxes. So if you guys wanna take a look at those, we'll discuss that at the next work session and see what we can get going so that we can get you moving by at least the first of the year. I think, the last quote was good for 90 days, so that's gonna put us right about there. Alright? Any questions with any of that? Okay, selective. Coming up on our annual renewal. They sent me 2 notice of change in terms of policy. The only one that I would be, this biometric one, I'm not worried about at all. We don't have anything that we're utilizing that's biometric right now. We did at one time biometric finger things for time cards, but we haven't utilized those in I don't know how long. So I don't think that's really gonna be a big deterrent. This one though, I need to check into the cyber incident exclusion to make sure that we're covered. We have insurance coverage for cyber attack, and it's written. You might be able to understand it, so I'll probably give you a copy of that too, and then we can make a recommendation if you want to give one to Mike.
Yep.
So we know whether we need to, if we gotta pay extra, get that back in there or not. It's just a blanket.
You might wanna run that against our cyber person too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Thank you. Add that to my notes. So at least you'll have those to look at and go kind of from there. We took care of number 4, which is the real property. Number 5. Alright, Town of Scholar Falls was mentioned in the ANCA's annual report. The article can be found on page 9. This article explains the willingness of the town to implement the LED street light conversion through NICEAG's program with help from ANCA. The highlight of the article was the cost savings to the town residents. By converting to LED streetlights, our total annual energy savings is 65%, or 76,546 kilowatts, resulting in a cost savings of 53.9%, or $17,255 per year. This amount to cover 1,530 megawatt hours of electricity, and is $345,000 of taxpayers' money saved over 20 years. So I got, basically, they only gave me one book, so I did give you the page 9. And, that was some good PR for a change for the town. And I'm gonna ask her if she can submit some more of those, booklets to us. That were mentioned in their annual report. So it was a pretty good article.
Put that up on the website.
Oh, yeah. 2 years from now.
It's on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
There. Does that work?
Nah.
It's about just as good as the website.
So yeah, eventually we'll get there. We have to make a move, or change. Alright. There's a close of mine. Unfinished business, we got anything?
Yeah, the garage floor.
Okay, garage floor, I have one estimate. I contacted, Ryan, Masonry, to see if he could give us one. And I threw the other one over to, Howard, cause he had a contact over there for walks, I thought they might be able to give us one. Well, I didn't get the one from, Ryan's Masonry yet. He was supposed to get it to me today, so unless it came after I left here. I contacted him yesterday, so I'm waiting to get that one. We need at least 3 quotes.
I thought we didn't because it was an emergency.
It'd be hard, and we could ask the attorney, but I think because we've been discussing this garage floor for over a year and a half, it would be hard to put that under emergency.
The scope has changed,
Same thing happened on the playground.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
but the scope of the work that we're doing is different.
The scope of the work is not inclusive of everything.
Right.
It's a temporary fix to get us through the winter. I did have some discussion, and I won't fill out what contractors they were, but, I did have some discussion with one of them that I contacted that thought that, if you're only 4 months or 5 months from bidding the whole job out, that, you think it would be advantageous to spend, thousands of dollars for a temporary fix on a floor. He doesn't make that decision, we do, but I'm just throwing that out there because he does it for a living. He goes that, if they did a temporary replacement of that floor for the winter, I asked, well, wouldn't they just tie that in and then continue from there? And he goes, I wouldn't, because he goes, I gotta warranty the floor after. He goes, if it's not my work, he goes, they're probably gonna wanna take that out and do the whole job as it was spec'd out by Barton and Judas. And at the very least, he goes, if they damage the floor when they're trying to remove the parts of the old floor that are left, he goes, then they would just put it in there as a, I forget what the term they used, as an addition, so to speak, and say, we tried to save it, but we couldn't, and we're gonna replace it anyway. So, I don't know where that all sits with you. I was gonna bring that up at our next.
We just run out of time.
Huh?
We're out of time. We gotta do something. We're not
Well,
like that.
we still have until the 10th, which means that we're still gonna have another meeting in between.
But we're talking about being able to get the work done. Being
Right.
able to get the concrete. things of
Right,
that
and
nature.
the last I heard from you when we had discussed it was that.
He said he could start it then.
He could start it then.
But I
So
mean, if
we
we're,
would, the earliest we could do it is to bring it up on the 10th, for the public hearing. And we're actually meeting that night, so we could bring it up then and make a decision at a time, if we got the 3 quotes. But I can't,
what if you don't get the quotes? Go with what you got, right?
I would say we could go with what we've got if we advertised it. You're gonna have to advertise it in the paper for 5 days and minimum, and then try to get a quote in. It's not necessary for the amount of money that we're spending. If we spend that 34,000, that would go to sealed bid. It'd have to be advertised. Right now, it just says we need 3 written quotes.
For
But-
over 34,000?
Yeah, if it's over 34,999, I think it says.
So if we
Up
get a bid,
until that, we just need 3 written quotes that we can ask for from whoever we ask for.
I'm not trying to complicate this issue at all.
Mhm.
Please believe me. However, how is someone gonna bid on a project when there's no plan?
I
How
did-
can a contractor bid on that if there's no plan in existence? How can we be fair to three contractors when they don't know what to bid on it because there's not really a plan, maybe stamped by an engineer? Probably spending $36,000 on this, that's a big investment. And certainly an engineering plan could rapidly be drafted. It's not like the end of the world. There's a lot of engineers who would run up there and just draft a plan for this project. And that's really my feelings, that's all.
Okay, so, Mr. Facto, we do have an engineered set of plans that we paid for by Barton and LaJudas. We wanted to go forward with this a year ago, and under the advice of Mr. Snyder, he didn't want to start that project in the winter, okay? And this board decided to hold off on it. At the time, it was talked about, costing $69,000. When we did get the bid put out there, where they all get put out, roughly between February and March, so that they can, the contractors can figure out what work they're gonna do throughout the summer. The only bid that we received when it went out to bid was from Murnane for $203,000. Came in 3 times more than what we thought it was gonna be. So we decided to hold off. We do have that engineering still. This board had decided that we would rebid that, not award that bid because we didn't have anything to compare it to at the time. And that we would rebid it again around February or March of this year. Okay, that's the last I knew about that. Now, as far as the temporary fix, I took what the plans were from the one bid we had, and I made a bid up from that, so that we were going to compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges. So they are well aware of what the specs were for the one bid we have right now and what exactly that person was going to do. So it is there. I did that. It took me an hour and a half to do that and type it up. So there is something. I'm not gonna just call somebody. That was the first issue we had when we got the first couple bids 2.5 years ago, was that, you know, we got them from a couple different people and they were apples to oranges on what they were gonna do. So not to run into that problem again, but to try to get a temporary fix if this board thinks that they wanna spend, about $20,000 to do emergency fix up there for now, if we can call it that. I put it all together so that they would know exactly what the work was to be completed.
Okay.
That answers your question.
So Mike, what happens if we don't get three quotes? I mean, he's got one and 2 we're supposed to put him in for tonight and he didn't get them. What
Well-
happens?
I don't think your email made it through, right? Is that what we
Well,
got?
it made it through, but they couldn't open it.
Okay. The other one, he was supposed to get it to me. He was working in his wood lot when I called him, so maybe he forgot by the time he got back. I don't know. It was pretty much getting this done quickly. So we still have a few days to meet the deadline of October 11th, is what I heard the last from you from one contractor that said that the cement plant would still be able to do that. I was just, again, it's more of a work session topic.
I mean, would it be practical to call a special meeting and move this forward quickly
Well-
if we're looking at a deadline?
Well, the next time we can get together, other than the work session, would be on the 10th, which is a few days out, because we're gonna have our next work session would be before the 10th. It'll be the first week, starting of October, so
Yeah.
that first Monday. So we'll have a few days in between, rather than trying to advertise a special meeting, because we're gonna run into the same stuff once we get it to the press. Trying to get it in the paper on time, because they don't put the press out on certain days. So I was just trying to work within the time frames that we have to work with and try to get something done if this board decides that they wanna move forward with something, for a fix for roughly 4 or 5 months.
What do you think, Mike?
I think you should move on it. You know what I mean? It's really an emergency. I mean,
We,
it's just,
and I know you're dealing with it. And I know that, you're using a blanket there under the one section of the door, cause it's closed all the way. But it's not like you haven't been doing that for 2 years, so I don't know how I can make it an emergency at this point, that's my
Yeah.
problem. If it was something that just happened, then I could say, okay, if the roof blows off this place, we can hold an emergency meeting and we can do away with all the extra bidding process that normally takes place. But subject to the laws that we are subject to, I
Just,
caution on doing it as an emergency because it's on the record for over almost 2 years now.
Kevin, at a work session, could we proceed and,
Well, we don't take minutes at a work session,
Right,
it's not
that's
a,
what
it's not a legal
so
meeting.
we can't do it like
So
that.
that's why I had asked Mike to check and see if the 11th was good, would be the day after we are having a scheduled meeting. And that's for the preliminary, or the
Yeah,
ratified
will
budget.
that work within the time frame, Mike?
I don't know.
You think?
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
not, you know, it's how late they pour cement, I guess it depends on the weather as well.
Yeah, I'm just going by the text that, when I asked you that day,
Yeah.
you said that, if you remember it, you go, yeah, I said that at the beginning of the text message, I said, yeah, I just wanted to know if 11th would still work, you know what I mean? So if that is what you text me back saying that he was good with 11th, but he would need to do it, start doing it by then, to make sure he could get it done this year. And you're gonna run into that with, the contractors, they're booked right up through the end of this fall.
I said,
And we'll be lucky if, like Donna says, we do get somebody else that can even bid it right now, if we're gonna do it in that kind of time frame. Cause a lot of them are booked up.
I said.
So you're gonna pay for that, but
I said to him, it may be November 11th before we get money, etc. Would you be able to do it at that time? And he said, yes, we can.
that's what I thought.
So on the 10th, instead of just for the special meeting for the budget, we can advertise in any other business that might come before the board.
Exactly.
Does that work? On the 10th?
And then the 11th is the day, that's why I specifically said if you could start on the 11th, you would be able to do it then.
Okay.
Working
So
with
it's not
them.
done yet. It's not dead yet.
No. No, but like I said, we just gotta make sure that, however it turns out, this board
well,
is
is it
willing to spend that kind of
gonna
money
be
for
dead
4
if you
months.
don't get the other two quotes, or,
Huh?
like Donna asked, is it gonna be dead if you don't get the other two quotes from, 'cause I still have the other two quotes from a couple of years ago, there was another.
Yeah, one of those I contacted, he goes, there's no way, he goes, I'm booked out to the middle of next summer already. I did contact, because I had those two quotes. I just needed them updated because they
Yeah.
were stale. So I needed to bring them up to date, and one of them said I'd love to do it, I could've did it then, but I'm booked up right up till next summer now, in the middle of next summer, and he goes, if you're looking for it at that time frame, and that's what we're gonna run into. We're up against the gun, but, like I said, it's what we can do is bring that up at a work session, it's way before the 10th, and, see whether we wanna move forward with it. At the least, you know that we're bidding it out in February or March of this year. That's when all those contracts get bid out for the contractors for the whole summer.
For the whole year, yeah.
Yeah, the littler ones are booking out right now, and those are a couple of the smaller ones. I did get some good information from that same person saying that he knew of 5 decent masons that he would recommend. He ain't got a dime invested in, he's losing money not taking it, so I thanked him. And he said he'd get me those names of who he would personally trust. So, at least maybe we can do that. That's what I'm hoping before the 11th. Again, if we decide to go forward with that. I think you brought that under old business, unfinished business. All right, any new business? That brings us to resolutions. I am gonna ask that we go into executive session due to potential litigation if we move forward with one of the resolutions. If I can get a second on that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Did you have 3 ayes?
I just said all, of you want me to do a vote?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
Mr. Newton,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Facto,
I'm gonna vote no on that.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. 4-1. You good? Alright. We will be back. Hopefully. Hey, Swift.
I'll put on there, so I'm not sure what to do with it.
Well,
You wanna stop that?
Thank you very much.